guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks again for joining me today, and a lot of you all have requested me do a do's and don'ts video, so that's what we're here to do today. If there's anything in this video that I say is a don't that you really like to do, go ahead and do it. I mean, there are no rules in makeup. And for any other video suggestions that you have, please comment them below. Just take a second right now and subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. There's probably nothing more other than you guys watching this video that I would appreciate more. So anyway, let's get started. And this might be a little bit of a long video just because, but like I said, I'm just going to hit the highlights, and then we'll have further videos in the future if you guys want to see them on specific things. So thank you guys again, and continue watching. So what we're going to start with, of course, is prepping our face. One thing that you really need to make sure that you do is moisturize. Even if you have oily skin and you're sitting here thinking, I don't need to moisturize, I would suggest that you moisturize. Everyone needs a little bit of moisture. It's just going to help even out your skin and give, you know, everything that you're about to pile on a good canvas to lay on. I just put that all over my face, and I'm only supposed to be doing half of it in don'ts. Okay, let's just pretend I didn't just do that. After you moisturize, you should wait at least 10 minutes. So I would suggest, you know, getting started on your hair or brushing your teeth or getting your clothes on, something like that, because it really needs time to soak in. And because if you don't give it time to dry down and kind of soak into your skin, then it's obviously the foundation and stuff that you put on top of it is just going to slide right off. Next, I'm going to go in with a primer. And this is definitely a do. Now, there's a million different types of primers out there that should work for your specific needs. To me, even though I have dry skin, because I can fix my dry skin problem with my foundation. I just get a dewy foundation, go kind of heavy on the highlighter, stuff like that, moisturize before, blah, blah, blah. So I like to personally use a pore filling primer, because that's not necessarily something I can fix with my foundation. So I just kind of, you don't need to put primer all over your entire face, but I put it where I have issues with pores, which would be on my chin area, definitely right in here, right in this area, and then I also have some right here in the middle of my forehead. Next, we're just going to dive right on into foundation. I just kind of tap this on my face and blend in. You can see that I am picking up product with my brush instead of laying the product down. And that is because sometimes if you go ahead and lay the product down, you actually end up laying too much down and it becomes a mess. Like, you just put way too much foundation on and it's going to look too cakey, and your powders and everything from there on is just not going to lay right. Whenever you're trying to shade match your skin and your foundation, you need to be sure that you're doing that to the neck and not just your face. So on this side of my face, I just went ahead and laid down my foundation, and you'll see in just a second that it's way too much. Way too much. Do you guys see this mess? Oh Lord. Another problem that people don't do is they don't blend down onto their neck. I did do that on this side, and I kind of just did it on this side just out of habit, but oh my God. And I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to try to kind of lean up here, but do you see these pores? I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but compared to this side, I mean, yeah, I still have a few pores here, but they're so much more blurred than this side that I did not do any primer or anything on. It is horrible. I can tell you right now that this side is feeling so heavy and so wet. It is nasty. Now moving on to concealer. It's light, but it's not too light, because the next shade up in this particular concealer was way too, well, it was pretty much the color of my face. And this is going to be the dew side. And you don't have to coat your entire face in concealer. You can blend your concealer out with a brush, but I just prefer doing a sponge for concealer. You can see like how fresh and just kind of lifted and highlighted that my eye area looks, you know. I just put a dab here and there other places. Now, do not use a concealer that's way too light. I suggest only going one, at most, maybe 2 shades lighter than your actual skin tone. Because it's going to look way too white. It's going to look too fake, not natural whatsoever. And it's just going to be too much of a conflict, and it's going to be extremely hard to blend out. But on this side, I'm going to show you guys what happens when you use way too much product and you use it way too far out. Not saying that I've never done this before, because I'm sure I have. And I'm not going to put any on my eyelid because I want to show you what happens later on with the eyeshadow if you don't prime your face or your eyelids. Blend, blend, blend. A little bit did get up there, but not enough. Now, I don't know if you can tell this on camera, but I can definitely tell in person that like my under eye, it's not horrible, but I mean, it's definitely not natural looking, and because I didn't use primer or anything, it's looking a hot mess. So the next thing with the highlighter would be setting it. You've got to set your under eye or it's going to crease up like crazy. Just like that. And honestly, I personally set anywhere that I put concealer, and then I go in with a big fluffy brush and set the rest of my face. So this side is set, this side is not. And it looks much smoother. It looks a little bit more matte, but not too matte. This side still looks like a pore-filled, greasy mess. First, I'm going to do my do side. And remember, I have set my face. So, number 1, the bronzer is not going to skip or anything like that. It's going to go on very smooth. So that's the good side. Now I'm going to show you guys what not to do. So this is the don't side. I haven't set it or anything like that. I'm using too small of a brush. I'm not keeping it in the area that I should be keeping it in. Yeah. How about that? My whole side of my face is brown. This side of my face is more contoured looking, a little bit warmer, you know, just really natural looking. Okay, I am going to show you guys a little glimpse of do's and don'ts of nose contouring, only because this is a part of my daily routine. So, I'm going to show you guys. I take a small brush that, this is actually like a concealer brush or something like that. But I just take a small brush like this and just kind of lightly get some bronzer on it or whatever you use to contour with or whatever. And just kind of run it up and down the nose to give it that look. Another trick you can do is kind of sink in your nose, and wherever that is, you can just kind of bring it up to that, okay? Now, I am going to buff this out. This side, I'm just going to go really heavy-handed, and I'm not going to blend it out. No, I didn't contour my nose. This is natural. So the next thing is going to be blush. Now, blush can go wrong in so many ways. And this brush is the Morphe M530. And it's just kind of a smaller brush, but the bristles are very, very, you know, they're not too dense. They're very easily to, what am I trying to say? Okay. It's not too dense of a brush. It's kind of a fluffy brush. It's just going to give that airbrush look. So I tap, tap, and then I just kind of swirl it around on my cheeks. Now, what you should not do, and I am going to use the same brush, but I'm just going to go in here, barely tap it off, and really go to town. Yeah! Yeah! How pretty. Next, I'm going to go in with the highlighter. Personally, I like highlighter to be all over my entire face because that's just me. If you are one of these people that don't and you like a subtle highlight, that's great, that's fine. So first you want to use a brush. This is the Morphe M510, and I'm going in with my highlighter and I'm just hitting this right here. Now you guys know in my previous video I take it everywhere, which I do. But most people just like it to be, you know, on their little upper cheek area, right here on their cupid's bow, up and down their nose maybe a little bit, pretty much anywhere that you want to highlight, you know, stuff like that. Now, on this side, I want to take this and put it where you should not put it, which is where I do put it. But anyway, like I said, we all do do's and don'ts. just everywhere. Some people probably think this is cute, and if you do, then go girl. Obviously, this side looks much better than this side. Number one, I didn't even prime my face or set it or nothing like that, so my pores are like humongous. Also, you guys can vote afterwards down in the comment section which side did you like best, my do side or my don't side. Do you do any of the don'ts? Because if I don't now, I know that I have in the past, so I mean we're all kind of guilty here, right? So I'm only going to set this side of my face, which honestly you guys probably aren't going to be able to tell the difference with the setting spray, because I mean hours from now you could, but you know by the end of this video probably not. Okay, so next I'm going to go into the eyebrows. This is my don't side, and number one, don't be using no pencil. That's way too dark for you. This one is not, but I'm still going to show you guys what not to do. Drawing a straight line. Drawing a box. And filling her in. So obviously this is not natural looking whatsoever. Like whatsoever. So on this side, on my do side, I'm going to show you guys what it should look like when you do your eyebrows in a natural fashion. Do hair-like strokes on the bottom instead of one straight line. Don't make them too bold outside of your natural eyebrows. When it comes to doing the inner part, make hair-like strokes. This looks far beyond more natural than this. Okay, you guys, so if you're wondering, number one, what that noise is in the background, that would be Dominic jumping. And if you're wondering too why I'm wearing completely different clothes and half of my face is not do's and don'ts, it's because I had to film this on another day because my camera ran out of storage and I had to upload the videos from yesterday before I could film again. So that's why. But I left off at the eyes, so we're going to jump right back into the eyes. So on this eye, I do have a little bit of a transition shade already, but I'll show you, of course, how I got that. On this eye, I wiped off everything. It's completely naked. It does not have any concealer or anything whatsoever on it. So first, we're going to start with the do side, and I'm going to be using my Tarte Maneater palette today. And we're just going to take this fluffy brush and go into the two nude cream shades and just kind of dust this all over where I'm going to be applying eyeshadow. And this just kind of like the concealer that I put down beforehand, it's just going to help the eyeshadow blend out better and kind of give it a powder base to lay on instead of sticking to that sticky concealer. On this eye, I've not primed it with anything. It is just my skin. I'm not even going to put the eyeshadow down on it first. I'm just going to go right ahead. In this eye, I'm going to use a transition shade in this palette. This right here is a good one. If you're wondering what a transition shade is, it's a shade that you put further up into your crease that your other shadows can blend into to kind of create that gradient effect. Generally, any neutral matte shade is good for transition shade. If you don't have anything on hand, you can always use your matte bronzer. So on this eye, I'm going to do a transition shade. On this eye, I'm not even going to do that because sometimes people skip that, and that's a don't. Next, I'm going to go into this color right here. It's just a matte warm brown color. And I'm going to buff that into this outer crease on the side that I have got my transition shade on. And I'm holding the brush out towards the end of the tip of it to kind of better buff this out. On this eye right here, I'm going to go in with that same shade, same brush, and put that in my outer corner. I'm going to hold closer to the tip of the brush and just kind of slap this on here. So before I dip back into that color, you can already tell it's darker here, lighter here. It's just so patchy. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look professional. It doesn't look seamless. It's looking pretty terrible. Now I'm going to go in and add a little bit of a darker shade. I'm going to go into this chocolate shade right here and put it in this outer crease. I'm still holding out to the end of it. As you get into more precise areas with smaller brushes, you can hold closer to the tip of the brush to get that precise application. But if you're looking to blend something out, then you need to be holding it towards the end of it. And you guys can kind of tell that that looks way more professional and way more blended. I didn't have to spend a ton of time on it, and it looks much better. I'm going to go in with that same shade, same brush. On this side, I'm going to hold closer to the end of it. And that's what you get. You get very patchy, very awful. My lines are horrible. Next, I want to move to the under eye liner. Never take a liquid liner to your under eye. It's just a very harsh line. On this eye, I'm going to take a small pencil brush and I'm going to go into that color, that first light brown color, and just kind of put this on my under eye. I apologize. I hope he's not too loud. Then I'm going to take a flat brush and go in with that dark chocolate color and put it right here. Now, if you want to take a black liner to the waterline, that's perfectly fine. Use a kohl liner and it will stay in your waterline. So, I'm going to go on to lips. And I know that overlining the lips is really in these days. What you do want to do is start at the Cupid's bow. Take it a little bit out further than your natural lip. You can use a nude liner, or you can use a liner that matches whatever lipstick you're going to be wearing. And then when you go down here and you hit the sides of your lips, just hit the natural sides of your lips. Do not overline on the sides. On the bottom, it's a little bit more forgiving. And I'll take it to the outside of my natural lip, just right there on the outer edge. Now, on the don't side, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to overline unrealistically. That does not look good at all. And I'm going to apply lipstick just to show you guys the difference. I like this side better. It looks much more, I guess you could say, believable. Whereas this side, you can tell that I have literally just overdrawn my lips. So, anyways, so I'm sorry that you guys had to look at this at 2 different times and kind of see this, you know, in a different video. But anyway, I'm going to edit them all together, and you guys hopefully will enjoy it either way. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks.